All right. And hello, everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel, The United Road. And as you can see, I have been joined again by Ankit Veya from Almighty's Blues FC. So, welcome to the stream, Ankit Veya. Welcome to the stream.
थैंक यू यार मतलब बहुत बहुत समय हो गया है नाइस टू सी यू बैक एंड यस बहुत सारे चीज हुए फ्रॉम द लास्ट टाइम वी मेट बट होपफुली वील हैव अ गुड डिस्कशन ऑलवेज लॉट ऑफ न्यूज़ व्हेन इट कम्स टू यूनाइटेड एंड चेल्सी राइट सो बात करेंगे
Exactly.
काफी
Like
एंड
last
अगेन
last
थैंक्स फॉर
time we
हैविंग
met, we were talking about all those sort of transfer saga and everything. At this point of time, we are going to talk about the recent activities. Transfers are
मी
gone, but still 4 months to go, and we are still surrounded by their transfer news. It's like one thing goes, the second things just jumps
दैट्स
in. So
फुटबॉल एग्जैक्टली
we will be starting, as you all know. My stream starts a bit slow, then it picks up. So in the beginning, I just don't. I just take my time for a while, and then we will start. फाइनली गर्मी गर्मी आ रही है वापस दिल्ली में.
how was your trip by the Anshuman as in I'm pretty sure you
Trip was
enjoyed
trip
lots
was
right
great, भैया. Trip was absolutely fantastic. I was hoping that I could have just tried to stream over there, but वो फिर possible नहीं हो पा रहा था. It was looking like कि मैं वहां पे जाऊं और उसके बाद फिर वो सारी चीजें लेके घूमना. That was
yeah
that was
yeah
not happening. So
absolutely
that was a big
absolutely
bummer. I really wanted to stream जहाँ पे थोड़ा background थोड़ा ढंग का हो, and so that others can see from where I am streaming, but वो फिर उस
Yeah,
तरीके
I
से वहां
get
पे
the point. Like you definitely want to show the red, walls behind you.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's
exactly,
kudos for
exactly.
you.
Like
That's what
even
basically
if it's
matters.
not the background, I just wanted to make sure that those people can see that from where we are streaming. Just for a
Right, right.
change of background views type उस तरीके से.
Yeah, it's a
All
good
right,
thought.
so we will just start. People will whenever they will come in, they can see, they can join, and they all obviously know what the topic is all about. So first of all, we will start with Carabao Cup because it was just 2 or 3 days back. So as a Chelsea fan, how are you feeling about just we
Yeah,
all, even United fans, Chelsea fans, we don't consider Carabao Cup as a major trophy. To be very honest,
yeah,
when we
absolutely.
consider the major trophies, it's like the European Championships, or whether it's going to be
Premier League, of course.
FA Cup, Premier League. But when it comes to League Cup, we never see that trophy in the limelight. It's like, all right, if we win, otherwise no matter. So as a Chelsea fan, like
True.
you lost in the final, in the penalty shootout. So how does it feel like basically?
See, firstly, as in terms of what I feel about the team, I'm definitely proud of my team. Chelsea gave it all. Yes, there was arguments, saying that we kind of deserved based on the first half, but second half, it would have been Liverpool, and the extra time it was us. But context डालना बहुत जरूरी है अंशुमान भाई क्योंकि yes, Carabao Cup is not your primary target जब आप season शुरू करते हो. लेकिन at the same time, we know as a matter of fact, let's be honest, Chelsea are not in the title race. Agar kuch, something miraculous happen, only then, we are, and probably not because Man City and Liverpool, for both of them to slip up, by so many points, chances are almost negligible. So I would say that, because of the fact that we had lost previous FA Cup final as well last year, if you remember, of course, to Leicester City and previously to
Yeah.
Arsenal, which again, I wouldn't like to remember it was the referee also helping them then. This time, I wouldn't say it was the referee altogether, but the fact that the final was great, 0-0, and we had lost finals before, and we were on a run of cups. So there is a disappointment because somewhere down the line you have that feeling that it was still that one decision may have been different midway through. Maybe it would have been a player's decision to make a better decision to score like for instead of kind of going for the curling shot of Mason Mount, he could have just taken a shot. But again, no blame. But again, VAR, if Chaloba, that injury that he got, Keita could have got a red card. Maybe things would have been different, maybe not. But overall, I would say great game of football. A final, a 0-0 final, not many I remembered. I remember the last 0-0 final I covered on my channel was ironically against Manchester United. You remember, right? 2007, the first game back at the new Wembley, where Drogba scored, in extra time. So that was a nil-nil final, which I remember. But because it was a first game in new Wembley, this time it will be remembered for the game itself, which is good. But yes, congratulations to Liverpool. I am disappointed. I'll be lying if I say I'm not disappointed. It is a cup final, which we don't really go very often in. So hopefully, we'll kind of learn from that and we can go to bigger trophy in FA Cup, which is coming up this week.
All right. So we have Riven. Hello, Riven. I am fine. How are you? But yeah, as a Chelsea fan, as Chelsea's perspective, starting the season in such a great manner, in such a great manner where all of a sudden it was all about, that Chelsea will just walk away to the title. There were talks
Right.
about it. Even you must have seen in the media, even from fellow Chelsea fans, the way you started, the way Lukaku was scoring in the beginning, your defense, your midfield, Kante, Jorginho, Kovac, like everyone was looking like, all right, it's just going to be a cakewalk. And all of a
True.
sudden, there were some COVID cases. Obviously, we all know that after COVID, it's very, very difficult to get back into the shape. It takes some time, and it all fell apart. Do you think that few bad results, like one or two games more slipper, and you might be, fighting for your place in the top three, basically?
Oh, absolutely. Like, you said it right. Because अगर आपको याद है तो it was actually not the COVID case. First thing which happened is Ben Chilwell. I think that was a huge kind of, say it because this time the wing backs were playing very different to last season. Last season, yes, we did tremendously well, but we had a more defensive structure because of the fact that it was Tuchel's first season. This time, he was more adventurous. The wing backs were not only bombing on much more, but they were tucking into midfield and playing like an extra midfielder in Ben Chilwell, who had improved lots. So he got injured. The following week, Reece James got injured. Two of our best wing backs, arguably two of the best wing backs in the league, on form at that point in time, right? And at the same time, there was a lot of COVID cases, not one or two. There were a lot of COVID cases, to be very honest. And I think there were cases where I think Havertz and such people have, I think, got COVID a second time, if I remember right. Plus, it was the month of December, where anyway it's so congested and it's not a Chelsea month. That's been the recent history, unfortunately, and I think it all came together. I would still say, like you said, Anshuman Bhai, like it was about those few results. Maybe the big matches against Liverpool and Man City, if we would have done better, or maybe the draws against Burnley, for instance, against Wolves, for instance, those are matches that I think just a couple more results, we would have been right among what Liverpool is right now. But yeah, it is about the combination. Hopefully, again, we learn from our mistakes because we didn't have a great backup in Alonso. As much as he's a great clutch player, he's not a person that you would rely on in the league week in week out.
All right. So we have few comments from Chelsea perspective as well, United perspective as well. I will read it out
Yeah.
for you, Bhaiya. Forbidden Stranger says Lukaku's offside goal was very close. I thought it was onside though. I didn't watch the game. You
Okay.
probably would have, obviously you must have watched
Oh
it.
yeah.
So whether it was a goal or not.
Well, I was on a watch along and I celebrated the goal for about 2-3 minutes. और फिर मुझे लगा कि यार they have started drawing lines, and we know as United and Chelsea fans especially, again, no disrespect to Liverpool and Man City, and I've gone and recorded on my channel saying that I don't know, for some strange reason there is a subconscious bias, or maybe I don't know, like a preference that for referees, on-field referees don't give a decision, like beat the red card, beat the offside, etc. I don't know, for some strange reason they do the line with his elbow. Now, I don't know if you can score a goal with your elbow. Is it counted? That is new to me. But at the same time, there were lines drawn on the pitch. So it was actually clearly not dark green and light green kind of shade. Uh, Going by those lines itself, it was clearly onside. But there is a school of thought saying that those lines aren't perfect compared to the lines that are drawn on screen. So I wouldn't argue that much because offside comes down to the lines, and if that's what they do for all the teams, that's okay. I would rather go and argue on the red card, which was, I think, a clear, blatant, red card, because I think the guy Chalobah got 6 stitches.
All right. So, hello, Professor. Welcome to the stream. Gotta says, I think Reece James was the best player for Chelsea in this whole season up until he was there. It was unfortunate to see him getting injured. I think we both can agree. Even as a United fan, I can totally agree. The way he was playing, the way he started. Initially when he started as just a left back, he was not doing that great even under Lampard. But the moment Tuchel came in and the way he started this season, as you mentioned, that could have been a turning point going into this season. So honestly, you know, we are talking about the top four race. And we are talking about the top four race. Which four teams for you at this point of time? We have talked about this before, but now the league is getting closer to the end. It's
Yes,
almost
yes.
26 games gone, 12 games to go. So for you, top
I
four.
think Again, like, I know Manchester United would love, me to say Manchester United. Again, let's be real. I think it's looking difficult, but it's not impossible. I would say Manchester United will be able to get there if they get a run of results, and they are capable of that. But whether the recent form and the recent confidence is there in terms of the forward line or scoring, I'm not too sure. And that's another reason being that I think United, if I'm not wrong, they are there in still three competitions. Correct? Is that three competitions? I think the Middlesbrough, I think was an elimination. So you're technically there in two competitions. So
Yeah, we are just in
Champions,
two competitions. We have,
correct.
we don't have extra burden of fixtures in the FA Cup and everything.
Yeah,
Obviously we
but
wanted those burden. We wanted
yeah,
to get as much far as we could in the FA Cup, but now that we are out, it's the Champions League
yeah,
as well as the race for top four at this
correct.
point of time.
Absolutely, but the fact is, it's about Arsenal. Arsenal literally have no other games, and I think they are also on a better run of form, and they are getting the as in people back from injuries at the right point in time. So I can see the momentum going with Arsenal unless they decide to do an Arsenal. I
Yeah,
think the ball is in
there
their
is
court.
always that.
Exactly. So Arsenal और Spurs का बोल नहीं सकते till the very last moment because of that reason. Manchester United have that tradition. They should definitely. The pressure is much more. As in, come on, the biggest club in the world. You should definitely have that. Ragnick finally, hopefully, will get for you guys. The team ticking come the end of this month. But honestly, मुझे लग रहा है it will be Arsenal in fourth, Chelsea in third, second Liverpool, and first Man City. Still, I don't see Liverpool winning the league. I'm sure you
To
you
be
wouldn't
to be
want
very
Liverpool to
honest,
win the league either.
I might get bashed as well. Obviously, I want United to finish at fourth, but fourth at that point, at this point of time, the recent results where we have dropped points, like the recent last 2 or 3 games, especially against this Watford, especially against Burnley. Like these are the games which will hurt the most in the upcoming scenarios. This is a United team which might just go out and beat City. Play on the counter, beat City. You never know. So this is one of the most unpredictable teams. I was looking at the stat that after Rangnick came in, we are the team which has created the most chances, almost 160 chances so far. And we are the number one in terms of creating chances, and we are the number fourth or number fifth in terms of scoring goals. So that shows that we are not up there yet in terms of scoring goals.
Same with Chelsea.
Every time we fix up a department, there is another department just like, all right, we need some fixing up as well. So
Absolutely.
I at this point of time, I totally relate with you. As you said, until Arsenal is going to do an Arsenal. Spurs, I think,
Yeah.
already did that. They had so many
They are,
games in
they are
hand.
very up and down. I cannot rely on Spurs. So I think Arsenal
Yeah,
is the biggest
exactly.
threat. Yeah.
So,
Sorry, but
Ankit, there is a question for you.
yeah, are you referring to United we analyzed? Because I would really like to take that question. United
Yeah,
we
exactly.
analyzed.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, I am honestly like I have to step in here. United we analyze. First of all, thank you for joining the stream. I hope you have liked, subscribed, and I'm not too sure if you're following Almighty Blues FC or Ankit. That's me. For a long time, I've been following Chelsea Football Club for 22 years, and for 22 years, I have not missed a single game, a single minute of any game. And trust me when I say that, it is a fact. I am not following the club because of Roman Abramovich. I am following the club because I fell in love with the club back in 2000, and I'm not sure we knew each other then. So let's not comment there. Plus the fact that Roman Abramovich has not been proven guilty. He is the one, in fact, who is the peacemaker. Please go on my channel and check out my latest video. He is a peacemaker and he has contacts. Yes, he has political connections. He is a Russian, so obviously he's going to support his country. That is the fact. If you are a particular, as a citizen of a certain country, you're not going to go against your country, right? And he is a man in power. But at the same time, he was very smart and, in fact, fair enough to give the stewardship back to Chelsea's trust. And that is what shows that this, for him, the most important thing is Chelsea's, what Chelsea stands for. And if you know, during entire COVID period, I think Roman Abramovich was the only person in the entire world to actually give the entire stadium to the COVID patients, and for a good 2 years. So I'm not going to hear this here. I'm really sorry, and I really respect United fans. And Anshuman is definitely, proof for that.
All right. So United we analyze. I hope hopefully you got your
Sorry
answer.
for my rant,
Obviously,
but
there is
I had to
politics.
do it. I had to do it. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's fine, Ankit. Yeah, obviously, as you said, when you talk about a particular country or a particular person, obviously that person is going to, this is a war which we can. This is
And
a
you know what,
conflict
Anshuman?
which no one wants.
we have to be very, very clear. We are very, very sorry for what's happening in Ukraine. We, as
Exactly.
human beings, are supporting what's as we want the war to get over. So let's not get political here. It's not about that. It's about following
Exactly,
football.
exactly, exactly. All right. Hello, Baba. Welcome to the stream. Pallav says Arsenal favorites. So, obviously they will be in the reckoning. And but I also feel about one thing about Arsenal is that one more injury in terms of how they have, shaped up in the front four, the way they set up right now. They have Lacazette, they have Odegaard, then they have Martinelli, and then they have Saka. I think one more injury to either of them, and they don't have any sort of a backup. So
See,
that could come into the factor as well. So that's why
uh,
I was saying that it's going to be a fight till the last game.
yeah, see,
They still have
with
games in
United,
hand.
no,
Yeah.
Anshuman, sorry, but like for United, what मुझे क्या लग रहा है ना, main miss जो है is on the right wing position. Like you said, backups. I know, obviously, unfortunate. No, it was really, I think, terrible. We discussed on our channel. I remember about Mason Greenwood. I don't think that natural replacement is there on the right. So Arsenal, yes, they are still missing players, but Arsenal, what I am seeing is just as a neutral that Arsenal have players who could fit in all the three roles. You know what I mean? So if say one player is injured, the other player can still fit in the other role. In United, that right winger Rashford is not looking the part. So that's why I'm feeling that there's too much reliance on Ronaldo, who's not scoring enough goals, and of course your as in your talisman, who's obviously Bruno Fernandes for me, and of course your left wing, which is like making team predictable to an extent. I will not say really predictable, but there is a certain element that maybe just play Alanga. I think Alanga being a youngster might be that side. So I think Alanga might just save you and get to the fort because he has that goal scoring ability.
All right. So now we have started with the goal scoring topic. So Romano has come out and said that Lewandowski might leave in the summer. I can see smile on your face. You can see smile on my face. We all know
No,
what we are
you know
going
it
to
why.
talk
You know
about.
it why. You know it why. You know it why. I
Yeah,
think we have
exactly.
Romelu Lukaku, the person you used to have once, and entire last summer we were linked to first Haaland and then to Lewandowski. There is a rumor saying that Chelsea had actually not taken that option because Lewandowski, I think if I'm not wrong, was coming at around 50 million at that point. We
Yeah.
chose to take Lukaku at 98 million. I don't know how much truth is there, but at the same time, to United, it's interesting because I think it depends on Ronaldo and Cavani situation because they
So Cavani
United
is
definitely
definitely going. Cavani is
definitely go.
definitely going.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Okay. Then I don't know. As in Ronaldo, as much as he's 37, it's just a patch. This guy is going to score you goals next season as well. I am not sure he's going to take a backup option. So I don't know if you're ready to let Ronaldo go. And as much as Lewandowski is brilliant, one of the top strikers even today, and probably will be for the next year. He has not proven in the Premier League. So if I was United, I would think twice, unless you go, as in Lewandowski and Ronaldo understands what history United have. Ronaldo, of course, does. But the fact that as in you guys always had three top strikers in the noughties and in the 90s. So
Even
if
four. You
that's
can name four at the
oh yeah,
even for
four.
you as well.
My bad. Exactly. So four top strikers were always there, and they were happy to rotate, happy to come on, like Solskjaer, Van Nistelrooy of the likes, Andy Cole. So I feel that it comes down to what Lewandowski really wants at the end of this career. I feel he still has at least two more good years in him. So I doubt it. That's my personal opinion. But if he comes, great for United. But I think both of them need Champions League football. Sorry to say, but you have to secure that fourth.
Definitely. All right. So we have few comments over there. Ayush, if we want to get into top four, we need to beat Man City and Spurs and at least get a draw against Liverpool. We were going to talk about the derby game. We will just pick it up from here. Honestly speaking, in 5 days' time, as I said, United is one team at this point of time who can go out and beat City in their own stadium. But United at the same time can go out there and totally capitulate, you know, end up giving away 4 or 5 goals. So it can go both ways. As a Chelsea fan, obviously, since you are also not in the race for the title, we are not in the race for title. So at this point of time, what do you? Yeah, exactly. What do you expect from
Feels
this
bad, huh?
United team going against City at Etihad?
Uh, it's a very weird situation for United fans. I would like to ask, actually, this is my question to you, Anshuman, and everyone watching as well. Because imagine if United take points from City, you're kind of helping Liverpool. It's
Yeah,
like, I don't know,
you know,
within the devil and deep blue sea.
the thing that's going to happen, in my opinion, is, like I really want us to, go out and get the win, and City to go
That,
on a 10 or 11 match run and get the
oh, that's a
title.
perfect.
Obviously, no one wants Liverpool to win. Even the Chelsea fans who don't want Liverpool to win.
I don't want Liverpool. I've gone on record.
Exactly.
Yes, that Carabao Cup. I congratulated them. I still congratulate them. And Champions League, they've been brilliant. But I cannot see Klopp winning and Liverpool after 30 years now getting a back to back, or rather almost a back to back trophy in league. I rather have us big guns kind of staying there, and that's something that you know how it is, right? How it feels. No
All right.
disrespect to
So there's
Liverpool.
there's one question. There is one question for you, Ankit. How would you
Yeah.
rate Ole versus Lampard as managers?
See, again, I've done a lot of videos on this, and I remember speaking on your channel last time about Ole, because I think that was the time when Ragnick was fairly new. See, Ole is I think tactics wise, I don't think I have issues with Ole. I think he's a very good coach when it comes to just the coaching ability. But as managers, whether they instill that kind of confidence, respect, as well as everything that needs to be the top team, I'm not sure. And that last bit was missing in Ole, and that was the main issue for me. With Lampard, is the other way around. He actually commanded respect. That is something that players really wanted to play him like crazy. Like he actually a lot of signings that I think Tuchel was lucky to get is because of Lampard. Lampard actually attracted them, right? As in a lot of players were actually wanted by other clubs, but they still came to Chelsea. Imagine Thiago Silva. The reason why he came to Chelsea is because of Lampard. He's gone on record saying that. So I would say that he has that pull, and in terms of the way they play football, I think both played good football. But Lampard, attacking wise, I love that football just because of the fact that he likes that 4-3-3, almost like you can say a club that he wanted to get to. But unfortunately, that in terms of coaching, I would rather rate Ole, because he was not so good when it comes to the defensive things, the gamesmanship when it comes to games in between. Those are things that I think he's still learning. Hopefully, being with Everton, he'll learn that, because they really need to get dogged.
Yeah. All right. So we have talked. This topic keeps on coming up. Ole versus Lampard, because both are club legends.
Correct.
Both set of fans wanted each other to win. Obviously we wanted Ole to win the trophies with us. You wanted Lampard to win the trophies with us. And as you said, in terms of the names, the pull. So you can also say that Ole also got Sancho, Varane. Bruno was Ole's
Yeah.
signing.
See,
So that's
my
that's the thing.
slight argument, sorry, Anshuman, is like, of course, it's not saying that Ole was not an attractive name. What I'm saying is, let's put a scenario. If in case, even if Ragnick was there in a situation for Manchester United, and I'm actually giving respect to Manchester United, for Manchester United, those players would have anyway come. But for Chelsea, what happens, as a fact. Again, I just went on a rant about 22 years, and trust me, if you really want to get down to, I can tell you how much history we have. But the fact that unfortunately, we are looked in world football in a sense that we are not kind of attractive from a history perspective, from that perspective. So that is why a manager is much more important to Chelsea. I hope you get what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Ankit, we have next question for you. Where do you think Tukamini will go?
Oh my God, Giovanni, literally everyone wants him now. Yeah, I think last summer Chelsea did very well not to go for him. Petr Cech decided to scout him. But now that he's really, I think, top five stats in Europe or something in midfielders. So, wow. Real Madrid, I think Manchester United, Chelsea. I have gone on record saying that this guy reminds me of a very young John Obi Mikel. When again, ironically, it was Manchester United and Chelsea going for John Obi Mikel when he could
Yeah.
actually bomb on forward as well. He reminds me of that. So, and that is exactly what Chelsea need, because as much as Jorginho is awesome, he's had a great year. He's not the future of Chelsea. So that's something that I would love him at Chelsea, but I can see him fitting at United as very well as well. So I would rather see him in the Premier League. Put it that way.
All right. So you have another question. Questions keep on coming for you. Steven Gerrard or Lampard? It's a easy one.
Come on, like DGIs. First of all, thank you. I know you support a lot. Thanks for that question. But you know my answer already. Probably he wants to hear it, and it's got to be as in Frank Lampard, because he didn't score own goals. No,
Yeah,
no, kind
exactly.
of
It's like
pun intended.
asking a United fan between choosing, Scholes and between Gerrard or Scholes or between Lampard.
Okay,
We all know who's
let's
going
go
to win
that way.
that.
Let's go for Scholes, because I think that is probably unanswered question. So I think I'll take the easy way out and say Scholes. But having said that, I think all three are absolute legends. Like, people think that okay, they have only one kind of trait. No, and then especially Lampard and Gerrard, they could do everything in box to box. And Scholes, in terms of passing, I think probably Pirlo comes closest in world football. Maybe Zidane. That is the level we are talking about. So I don't think there's a comparison.
Exactly. All right. So Snashes, he was already against Ayush. He was like, none, only Scholes. He was like, we are not going to have a debate. The answer is final.
That's a
So
never-ending debate, man.
exactly. So when we talk about, when we talk about the win, when we talk about the Premier League win in terms of how dominant City has been in the past, we have
Mhm.
talked about when there is a change of coach, change of manager with both Liverpool and City, they might slow down. I
Correct.
have talked about in the my on my channel. A lot of people have talked. So where do you think, City, because City is a very well run club. We all know that they maintain, they make the good signings, they have everything in place. But how much effect is going to be there when Pep is not? Pep is going out of the window then.
See, for me, again, I hate to say it, but Pep has finally built that DNA that Man City wanted for the last decade. Like, for me, even if he goes out, I don't see them kind of falling apart. They are still having a DNA. I'm sure Manchester United fan would hate him even more for that reason. But the fact that he's built that DNA, and I think I can compare with my club, right? In Chelsea, what happens is if you see the youth team down, now the 3-4-3 system that Tuchel has built over the last 12, 18 months has already been built in. Like, everyone kind of plays that way, be it at any level. And that's the system that I think with City, that mentality is right up there. You see the youth of City as well. They are absolutely brilliant players, and I think they can walk into the team right now. But it's what Pep has created. He's created monsters, simply put, and unfortunately, it's here to stay, whether he moves or not. Yes, of course, I would like for him to move so that at least there's much more competition compared to when
Yeah,
he's in
that's
the
that's the
dugout.
main that's the main thing, Kabir, that when his contract is up in 2023, that's next year,
Correct.
and there are a lot of talks of him moving to either Juventus or even with Spanish national team. So obviously he has created that setup and the base. But when you look at in the overall picture, obviously when someone replaces a coach of Pep's caliber, it's going to take time. He might come up with something else. He might just try, different things. So that's where the answer is. And we have talked. I think we also talked about Liverpool will suffer more when Klopp leaves rather than City when Pep leaves.
Yeah, that's a great point actually, because I think Liverpool has built a very as in great way of playing, but with a smaller unit. It's not like players have come and go. Yes, Klopp has also rebuilt, so kudos for him to be doing that. But I think it's far more difficult because I think they still have players at the end of their careers, whereas City, they have a lot of youngsters in that team, right? So I feel that City will probably continue for a good while. Not as dominant, but certainly Liverpool. See, Liverpool come across as a cup team to me. That's how they come across to me. So City has more like the mentality built in at every position of the pitch. So I would rather be in City's side if given a choice. But yeah, I'm happy with Chelsea.
All right. So there is a question. What do you make of Arsenal's recent progress? They seem solid and have seemed to make good out of their signings. In the
Oh
meanwhile,
yes,
I will just ask people to just stay. I will count through the questions one by one. Hello, Marlene. Welcome to the stream and thanks, Vaibhav, for your support. So, Bhaiya, this question: what do you think of Arsenal? I
yeah.
will also
So
give my.
see, like I said, with Arsenal, I think it's kind of coincided with AFCON getting over. Plus, I think them not being in the cup competitions, they got eliminated during that time, during the AFCON itself. And signings, I would not say only signings in, I would say signings out, because Aubameyang, as much as he's been great for Barcelona, I'm sure Arsenal fans, some of them may regret, but I think many of them are not regretting because he was a baggage. So I think it's a dressing room atmosphere. It has changed. Maybe you can say wins automatically आपका change करता है. You get a momentum, but at the end of the day, it's about just that environment with a young squad, and that was needed. So I think it's more about Arteta being able to instill that with the results and the signings. And again, injuries as players coming back from injuries has helped. So I would not say it's all down to Arteta. It is some amount of luck and timing as well. So that's what I'm saying. That if they are not able to kind of continue on this run for say March, things might be totally different. But yeah, as of now, they're looking good.
All right. So Ayush is asking, will the World Cup playoff will be redrawn? I don't think Ayush that will be redrawn. He's also saying
But
if we have to beat City, we need to sit back and hit them on the counter. I think that's the right way to go against City at this point of time. That's how, Ole just totally decimated City, you can say. The number of chances we created and they were clueless. They were clueless. They thought they can just go out and play their normal game, but they were hit, like they didn't see it coming. All right. Praful says Arsenal was helped by exits more than signings. Your view on
exactly.
that, Ankit Bhaiya?
Exactly, like I said, I think it's more about the people going out. I think they had obviously, as in a lot of people going out. Maybe Maitland Niles was a certain surprise for me. He could have helped in their midfield, but again, I don't think Arteta, used him as a midfielder. Apart from that, I think Kolasinac of the likes, they were all baggage, and I think Aubameyang we already spoke about. So for me, even Bellerin for that matter. So a lot of exits that they've had in the last few months, I think that has helped. But again, I don't think they have it in them in terms of being the top team yet. I think it'll still take time. If in case they had other tournaments, they would have done not so well in my opinion. But again, kudos to them if they're doing well. I think Pepe is one shout out. He's come back very good.
All right. Next question for you, where Bruno versus Lampard comparison. There are a lot
Come
of
on,
people who are.
unfair,
Yeah, obviously,
unfair.
no. We are not going to talk about in terms of trophies. Obviously, at this point of time, the number of years that Lampard has. We are just talking about impact at this point of time.
Yeah.
The
So
impact that Bruno has brought in since his signing. Obviously, it's going to be, it's like comparing scores with someone like Nasri,
yeah, yeah.
So at this point of
See,
time,
I can
so
what I
we are
can
just
say
talking
about
about the
Bruno.
impact, Ankit Bhaiya. We are talking about the impact in terms of
Correct.
goals and assists that he has brought in to this team. There is a
True.
similar style you can say the way Lampard used to play, going in after the ball, tackling, getting others involved in the game. That's what
Yeah, and
Bruno's
being the
role is
main
with the
playmaker
team.
as well. See,
Yeah.
मेरा ओपिनियन तो यही है कि यार Bruno Fernandes along with Kevin De Bruyne, they are the top midfielders when it comes to basically the Premier League. There is a school of thought saying that Bruno Fernandes needs to do little bit more consistently in just the top games. Not that he's not consistent. I think he's probably one of the most consistent players that can be. Don't get me wrong. And like I said earlier, he's the talisman for Manchester United. For me, it has to go through him, whatever goes through, because his mentality is second to none. Maybe just Ronaldo, right? Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes are basically for the next year extremely crucial for Manchester United. What I would say is that, yeah, maybe once he does it in Europe and he kind of gets, maybe if this season, for instance, if you have a great run in Europe, he goes late. Maybe he'll be starting to get celebrated internationally as much as what he's not, which is unfair on him. Yes, the time goes against him, and the fact that he comes across more like a goal scorer, and people like Lampard they used to do. They used to not see the tackles that they make, right? But he actually does, like you said. So I can see why that comparison is coming, but again, totally different players because Lampard, his best position on the pitch was more like someone who was a box to box, who was bombing on from the left hand side of midfield. So I think that is a total different scenario whereas how Bruno comes. But yes, Bruno set pieces. Probably I'll say yeah. I'll be brave and say that he was probably slightly better than Lampard, as long as even Lampard was brilliant in set pieces.
All right. Well, next question. It's been debated all over the world. Between United fans, City fans, even Chelsea fans as well. Kevin De Bruyne or Bruno Fernandes after he came in EPL. If we look at the last 2 years.
See, I unfortunately I don't know. Maybe you'll say that Kevin De Bruyne was an ex-Chelsea man, but that's why I should hate him more because he decided to leave Chelsea. But let's be honest. I think Kevin De Bruyne, the kind of passing range he has, I don't think even a Bruno has. Just the passing range,
Yeah, we are not talking about the
excellent range.
passing game. We are the impact we are talking about for the last 2 years. When you look at Kevin De Bruyne in the
Oh yeah,
last 18
impact.
months since the World Cup,
Yeah, he's not
you know,
not been so impactful as compared to Bruno to United. But again, would you have Kevin De Bruyne in that Manchester United role versus a Bruno Fernandes in the Manchester United role? I'll be controversial and say that my opinion again, people, you might disagree. I feel that Bruno Fernandes still has things to kind of improve on compared to Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne literally, I don't know his position today. Kevin De Bruyne can literally do everything, and
All right,
he's someone who was
that's
actually
fair.
tackled by
When you
Kante.
when
So
we
I was
talk
just
about
saying,
Kevin De Bruyne, the experience is also there. He has been in this
oh
league
yeah,
for a longer time than Bruno. In the European circuit as well. When we see Bruno, mostly he was playing Europa League. You know, with Sporting Lisbon. Then he came out here. He is absolutely fantastic. When you look at the Champions League campaign at this point of time, he is the highest assist maker, 6 games in
yeah.
a row. So that shows the caliber. But as you said, there are certain aspects of the game that he needs to improve as well. And we as United fans, we also want to see him improve on that factor. There is a question for you, from Praful Ankit Bhaiya, that which manager do you not want to see as United, Ten Hag or Pochettino?
Oh wow, interesting. Like I would not say there's a particular manager which I would not like to see. Yeah, I would have not liked to see Conte, which happened when Conte was linked very strongly to United, and I think United probably missed the bus. I don't know, or maybe you can say the other way around, the way it's happening right now. So for me, I think with Ten Hag or Pochettino, for me either way it's okay. Like Ten Hag has its shortcomings in the sense of he'll probably take a few months to settle to English football. His way of playing is much better. Pochettino also not bad, but we know he's been bottling over the years. But there will be a point where he'll start winning as well because he knows the league. So I won't be surprised if either of them are successful in United. But Conte, I think you guys missed it. Like if he was at United, or maybe you never know, he might be available in summer, going by the things what they're going. So Conte will be a winner if he was at United. Wow, I can imagine Conte with United.
To be very honest, Bhaiya, I think we dodged a bullet with Conte. I will tell you why.
Hmm.
The only reason is Glazers. Conte
Yeah,
is a proven winner. Conte is a proven winner. There is absolutely no doubt in that. You know, if that guy gets a team that he wants at United, he can literally make us dominate. But then at the same time, we are seeing what's happening with Spurs. One window where he doesn't get the signings, he is coming after the board. He's coming after the ownership. He's coming after everyone. And
true.
if that happens at United, there is always Spurs. No one's scared. No one care about Spurs. Whether you fight, whether you don't fight, no one cares. But if that was happening at United with Conte, the entire dressing room and everything would have been off the boil, off the charts. So
I
in
do
that
agree.
in that regard, I think we have dodged a bullet because his temperament. He would have gone mad. He would have wanted 4 or 5 players. He would have got the substitute of those 5 players, and even
Hmm.
not 5 players, just 1 or 2. And after 2 or 3 months, if the results went our way, okay, that's fine. It's all good till till the team is winning, and after that it would have gone absolutely off the boil. So this was the thing. I also know that you also have a stream lined up after this, so we
Yeah,
will
yeah.
wrap
I
up
was
very
just
very
kind of
shortly.
no problem, no
Yeah,
problem.
we will wrap up very very shortly. All right. So Ayush is asking, which manager do you want in Man United, Zidane or Ten Hag? My personal opinion, I know who I want, but yeah, Ankit, yeah,
Zidane would
you
have
have to
been.
choose a manager for United. Keeping away,
Yeah,
keeping away your bias, you have to choose for
no, no, of
United.
course. Like imagine like seeing Zidane in the Premier League. I mean, come on, like the guy is different class. I know we are talking player versus manager here, but even as a manager, for some strange reason, he isn't given the credit what he deserves, what he did with Real Madrid. So I would actually like to see Zidane. As much as I am a Dutch fan internationally, just for people to know, और मैं बहुत follow करता हूँ Ajax की team, and I love Ten Hag's work as well. लेकिन Zidane, the charisma, the aura, the respect that he brings, let's have in the Premier League.
There's a lot of we have talked about in the past. As United fans, we have also talked about few other things that people underestimate the job he did with Real Madrid. People are
Mhm.
like, you get certain run of games in Champions League, you win the Champions League. He didn't do it in the league. All right, you can say that. He was not that efficient in the league like he was in the Champions League. But then 3 Champions League, you just cannot win without tactics. There
Yeah,
is one
exactly.
point that you are managing, the egos, and there is totally different point that you have to win game after game in order to get that trophy. So people underestimate Zidane, but obviously he wants to join the national team. So all right, before
Yeah.
you go, there's one last question for you. And which player do you want as CDM? Rice, Ndidi, and as CB, Rudiger or Conte? This is for me basically, but obviously I would love to see your opinion on this. Rudiger's
See,
contract, is up in the air. We all know he could go anywhere,
oh yeah, yeah.
anywhere,
But
literally.
again, I know the more it delays, the power is with Rudiger. But I strangely feel that I don't know, it's my gut or just going by the body language. Rudiger will sign that extension, and we really need him. Whatever it takes, Chelsea just sign him, man. Like Kunde, we get too excited with the youngsters. I myself, get too excited when you see promising youngsters. I watch a lot of La Liga. Kunde has a lot of mistakes in him. Still, he gives away a lot of fouls and penalties in
Exactly. That's
unnecessary
that's what I
areas.
have talked about. Sorry to interrupt you here. That's what I have
Yeah.
talked about as well. That playing in La Liga is one thing, and when you don't have that stature, he lacks in height. And when you come into a Premier League team and you are going aerially against the likes of Burnley strikers, or the likes
No,
of
aerially is good,
when you look
Anshuman.
at this.
Anshuman, वो जो leap है ना उसका, he's really having a great leap. But you're right in terms of just the strength and just he'll take a long while. He has to
Exactly.
learn lots. So you cannot compare Rudiger. Yeah, any day you'll take Rudiger. I'm sure United fans will agree. Like Rudiger has to be, one of the top three centre backs in the Premier League today. And along with, I think, I would like to say Virgil van Dijk and Thiago Silva. But again, that might be controversial. CDM again might be left field. Ayush, I know you had a question. Unfortunately, I don't see him as a better fit in Chelsea compared to a Chouamini, which we spoke about earlier. Which is again might be a little bit controversial. And Rice has been brilliant. He bleeds blue. I wouldn't mind having him, of course. I would love having him as well, but I don't see him as a starter for Chelsea Football Club, if you know what I mean. That's just me.
All right. So Mike says definitely not Zidane for United. So all right,
I saw that.
we all have our opinions. That's
Exactly.
totally fine. All right. So but yeah, with that, I will just let you go because the questions will keep on coming. I will try to
Yes,
answer
yes.
and make it in a Q&A session. It was a discussion, and you have your own stream. So thanks a lot for joining today, Ankit Bhaiya.
No, no,
and
thank you, boss. Like, very, very, very
and
a pleasant discussion
hopefully
we
we
had.
both hopefully we both play Champions League next season. And if one team that's miss out, that's going to be Chelsea, not United. So
Come on, wishful thinking. But yeah, again,
thanks
people
a lot.
do
Thanks
like
a
the
lot for
stream.
joining.
Yeah, do subscribe, and of course, like I always say, Almighty Blues FC is a fan channel for all to see. Everyone is welcome.
Yeah, guys,
So we'll
I
stream.
have mentioned Bhaiya's channel. I will also share the link in the description after the video. So make sure that because that channel is not just for Chelsea. He is also discussing throughout news throughout the world football. He will also be talking about the Milan derby, which is
Oh yeah,
later
that'll
tonight
be
in like 3 hours
interesting.
time. The Coppa Italia.
You'll probably see that, right, Kaka? I'm actually having a soft corner for AC
Yeah,
Milan as well. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. But yeah, it's absolutely a pleasure, and I'll be back. Hopefully, Anshuman, you'll be back on Almighty Blues FC. We'll see you soon.
definitely, Bhaiya. Hopefully, and we can the Chelsea game whenever there is. Hopefully, we can just make the watch along together.
Perfect,
So
perfect. That'll be brilliant, brilliant.
that would be fun.
That's it.
Thanks a
Yeah,
lot for
thanks
joining
everyone.
tonight, Ankit Bhaiya.
My pleasure. Take care. Bye.
Guys, so Ankit Bhaiya is gone for the time being, so I will be taking over. And as I said, I will be turning it into a Q&A. Whatever questions, whatever thoughts you have, make sure you are putting it up. If you want answers from me, if you have your own views, don't hesitate. I will be taking the comments now. When we are talking with a guest, it's very difficult to get everyone's comments at the same time. So Praful is saying Zidane will be most of our choice and will peak in blink of an eye. पर ये घर का मामला है. Exactly, we have known Zidane situation for a long time now. He wants to be the French manager. He doesn't want to move to English Premier League. So we will see if that changes in future or not. So all right, so Ayush is asking, will Kaka leave in next summer? I think that was for Ankit Bhaiya, but I'm sorry, Ayush, he has already left. So I don't think Kaka will go anywhere next season. When we talk about Kaka, who is going to pay a very handsome amount of money for Kaka next season? So that's going to be a bit controversial. Whether in terms of whether they are looking to sell him or whether even Tuchel remains for the next season. There are a lot of ifs and buts. We all know how Chelsea changes their manager. So with 11, 10, 11 games to go, if somehow Chelsea miss out on a Champions League spot, you know, 2 or 3 games down the line, it can happen. You never know. They are in the mix. They are in the mix. So we will see. So as I said, guys, if you have questions, feel free to share. Till the time the questions will keep on coming in, I will keep the stream going. And after that, I will just call it a night. So I just wanted to talk about Lewandowski because there are a lot of news coming in that he might decide to leave Bayern at the end of the season and decide to join a Premier League club. Which club, we don't know. Chelsea obviously will be in the mix. United will be there in the mix as usual. So let's see how that goes. Lukaku to Inter Milan for 50 million. Looks more likely, Praful bhai. Ayush says Zidane is Now, Zidane is not going to come. We are not even considering Zidane at this point of time. The reason we all know, he wants the French national job. He is waiting for that. And obviously, the wife's factor is there as well. So, Liu says we don't deserve top four. Going by the form, we definitely don't deserve top four. But as a United fan, obviously, I want us to get into the Champions League by hook or the crook. I would love to have Eric Ten Hag, to be very honest, Abhishek bhai. I would have, I have vocally said that I want Eric Ten Hag at this club. He will be like a breath of fresh air. But then, there are people who are like, he has not done anything exceptional. Pochettino was here in the league for 6 years. So we will have to see. We will have to see on which direction our board thinks. Whoever comes in, whether it's Eric Ten Hag, whether it's someone else, Pochettino, I think we are going to back the manager, at least in the first window. So let's see how that goes. Mike is asking, have you heard that reports Nigerian striker Victor to be very sorry guys. To be very honest, Mike, I have not seen, you can say reliable reports about Victor Osimhen to United. But if you are looking for a striker, I think that, he fits the bill. Napoli paid a lot of money for him. So I don't think whether we are going to get him for any less than 75 or 80 million. Whether it's come to being Ronaldo close to an end, he is definitely close to an end. If we can, play him in a better way. At this point of now that we don't have Cavani, we don't have Martial, it's literally like he will be playing every game. But if we can manage his workload, he can still give us at least one more season. But as even Ankit Bhaiya said, we were discussing that whether he is looking to take that backup role, that should be kept in mind as well before we go for another striker or whoever we are looking to bring in, because a striker is a must. All of a sudden is a must. So let's see how that goes. Chita says Leva can become a PL top scorer in PL, but then thinking of, it's very easy to say, Shitish, that anyone coming from, any league will just come out here and be a top scorer. Very, very difficult to say, and that with authority, to be honest. He is definitely a striker who can give 15 to 20 goals. He is fit. He barely gets injured. So Praful says, if we have any chance for Champions League next year, exactly, he needs to fire. He needs to fire in the upcoming games, 11 12 games. If Ronaldo fires for the remaining games, we are definitely, we will have more than enough chances to get into the Premier League. Oh, sorry, the Champions League. My bad. Ayush says, I don't think Leva will come in Manchester United. No, there are initial rumors. We don't even know whether he is going to leave or not. So once the window is closer, we will have a much better perspective or whether he's going to leave or stay. So we will just have to keep calm till then, to be very honest. I don't think that's the case, Lou. I don't think that's the case. I think every top manager wants to have a challenge. And I think Eric Ten Hag or Pochettino, they will both be looking to take the challenge. Rangnick is definitely not going to be a permanent manager. I'm 100% sure about it. He will take that consultant role. and he will try to help with the signings. Haaland का option नहीं है. Haaland का option, to be very honest, there are 2 or 3 factors जहाँ पे Haaland का option नहीं है. First, Raiola. Number 2, Real Madrid, and then number 3, City. So neither we are his first choice, neither we want to deal with Raiola. So we will have to see. Vlahovic could have made a bidding war, could have created a bidding war in the summer, but he is also off the market. So Shiren says, don't want Leva, we need someone young enough. We have bought 30 plus strikers. City bought Alvarez. Alvarez in Premier League, we will see. As I said, everyone was like, oh, Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Jesus. You see him, where are the goals? So it's very, very difficult for any South American to come in and get used to the Premier League. I have said that before, I will say it again. I am not at all bothered by Julian Alvarez. He might come in, he might score 10, 15 goals, but South Americans with United never had a great history. Even if it lasted for a while. Praful Bhai is asking, what will be your priority for signings? Central defensive midfielder. That's the priority. Our team cannot function without a central defensive midfielder. The way we are set up, the way we want to play, if we are not having a central defensive midfielder, I don't think it's going to work, to be very honest. So that's my priority. The second would be a striker, because Cavani is going out. Martial, we don't know whether we will see him next season or not. So, and with Ronaldo reaching 38 next year, we need a striker. We need a young striker who can come in and, at least in the first season, contribute with 10, 15 goals, and then take the lead role. So Shubham is saying, hello Shubham bhai, welcome to the stream. We need a young striker, a young CDM, and right winger, hopefully is brought. When we are talking about free agents, Shubham bhai, we always face the same problem. It's the wages. They ask for out of the world wages, and we don't go for it. But yeah, as you said, Kessie or Kamara, if they are available, one free agent is a must. We definitely need one, just to make sure that the price burden on the other players is not affected in that sense. No chance. I don't think we are going to score. We are going to concede 6 goals, to be very honest. But it's a football. It's a game of unpredictability, uncertainty. Anything can happen. We might even go out and score 3 or 4 goals, the way we create a chance, the way we create our chances. So Shane is asking, what do you think United should pursue in CDM options? The way it's looking like, Bissouma should be pursued, in my opinion. Rice will definitely be linked with us all the time. Although I still don't believe that he's an out-and-out CDM, because he plays with, Souček, and he takes that B2B role. He loves to drive, but yeah, he will be in the reckoning as well. Tukameni will be linked with us. So Kamara is there, but I think 2 realistic options at this point of time. We might do a Man United and go out and pay 100 million for Declan Rice. So that's looking more likely at this point of time. But then we have other priorities, other issues to solve as well. So we will have to wait and watch. We don't know whether he is on 500,000 a week or not, Luke. No one knows. Last I heard, it was 380. 500,000. No one is getting 500,000 in Premier League at this point of time. If Salah signs a new deal, that's Salah's demands, 500,000. If he signs a new deal, then he will be the most, he will be the highest bid player in the Premier League. Pallav says, I don't know why I have a feeling that we will win against City scum. Hopefully, Pallav, your feelings are true. So, Mike says Sancho is right wing. Sancho is right wing, we know, Mike, but then we need backup as well. Ahmad, whether he is ready or not, we don't know. Greenwood, out of the window at this point of time. Whether he will play for us or not, we never know. So, let's see. I hope so, Mike. Mike says one thing is for certain, Sterling will be pocketed and will score. Hopefully that happens. All right, Praful says, what's your take on Rashford? Yeah, exactly. He's just 24. I might get bashed for saying this, but I still believe that he can turn it around, just having a bad phase. And, but it's totally on him. It's totally on him whether he wants to change it around at the club or not. Shivam is saying, who do you think Pogba replacement should be? I don't think, we will have to look at Donny's position in the club in the summer. We have seen what he can do with Everton in just 2 or 3 games. At this point of time, he's showing he is physical, going into the tackles, trying to get those passes going. But yeah, when it comes to what we are going to do with the midfielders, if Pogba as well as Donny both leaves, we definitely need three midfielders, as you said, Shubham Bhai. Shane is saying one midfielder also hangs in the balance. Yeah, exactly. If we are getting Erik Ten Hag, Donny Van de Beek is going to stay. That's for sure. He's not going anywhere. Even with Pochettino, I think he's going to stay. So I think we have done wonderful in terms of letting him go on the loan. Liu says I have watched 3 watch-alongs. It's all about Liu. It's all about performances. The chances which we have created against Middlesbrough as well as Watford. You also know that any given day we could have scored 5 or 6 goals. 5 or 6 goals easily. But we all know how that ended. Palacevic had 12 shots, 22 shots on target. Exactly, that's what I'm saying, Pallav. That it's all about a particular day. We might create 3 or 4 chances against City. We might score 2. You never know. Football is unpredictable, as I said. So let's see how that goes. Hello, Himit. Welcome to the stream. Guys, if you have not subscribed to the channel, if you're here for the first time, do subscribe, share the link so that others can join as well, and also take part in the vote. And as I said, the moment the questions will stop coming, I will stop the stream. It was with Almighty's Blues. So if you want to go to his channel, I will put up the link. You can also go through the tag which I have made on my title. So at this point of time, we have talked about whether Lewandowski we need or not, whether we want him or not. Can United win the derby? That will haunt me for the next week or so. Hopefully we get the win and exciting top 4 race. I think the race is going to go all the way. Till the last game of the season. So let's see how that goes. No one knows. No one knows, Shiran Bhai, why Pogba is in Paris. No one knows. He's attending fashion show. So Mike says, my opinion, I don't want Poch, hasn't got the right winning CV. Exactly, Mike. If I would rather see Erik Ten Hag, to be very honest. Everyone has their own opinion. Someone wants Pochettino because he got the experience of playing in the PL. But as you said, at this point of time, my choice is Erik Ten Hag. I would, take him in a Ziffy. So let's see how that goes. Shiran says this 1 week rest. Exactly, but it's not a long journey. It's not not a long journey, Shiran Bhai. So it's not something that will make him tired or something. And his family is there, so he might have been visiting family. You can just go over there and come back within a day's time. So that's not a big deal, to be very honest. And he was there with friends. So Real Madrid is in the race for Pochettino after what he did to them with PSG. He totally schooled them. Totally schooled them. There was no signs of anything from Real Madrid throughout the game. So that's one thing that Real Madrid are also interested. They're also interested. They're looking at Pochettino, whether if Ancelotti is not winning the La Liga, if Ancelotti gets out against PSG in the next week's time, I think his future at the club is done. Lou, I don't think fans are going to decide anything regarding the club. You know, fans' choice. We all know how agenda driven our fan base is. So you cannot give that regard. I would have loved to see, but then we all know we will never know that who's going to vote or who's not going to vote. So it's always going to be, and it's not like Germany where 49% of the power is with the supporters group as well. So these decisions are taken by board and always be taken by board. So I don't have a problem with that. Just make the right signings and make sure that you are not letting this chance go. You can have Eric Ten Hag, brilliant manager, and back the manager, whoever manager you get, just back them up. Real Madrid are clear favorites for the La Liga at this point of time. There is 6 point gap between them and Sevilla. So I don't think Sevilla can cover it up. But if they do, and if Real Madrid loses, I think that's curtains for Carlo Ancelotti at the club. Shaktivel says Eric Ten Hag or Pochettino will need time, definitely. Whoever is coming to United, they are going to take some time. One of the biggest club, the pressure is intense, and it also depends on whether they are going to be backed by the board or not. So if they are not getting backed by the board, obviously they are going to struggle. Lou, are you going to watch the FA Cup game tonight? No, Lou, I won't be watching the FA Cup games. To be very honest, not interested at all. And most probably, I might try to look at the Coppa Italia. The Milan derby is there, so I was asking how far can we go in CL. I think if we reach the semis, that would be absolutely crazy. That totally depends on which team we get next. If we get a team, whether it's Sporting or someone like Ajax, so we might go to the semis. But then, of course, the away goal rule is not there, and we have to go from zero against Atleti in the second leg. So let's see how that goes. Mike, to be honest, they were falling apart, but after Javi in the recent few weeks, they have picked up. I think January window has done wonders to Barcelona. Fernan Torres, perfect fit for Barcelona. Aubameyang, his pace, perfect for Barcelona. Traore, his pace, perfect for Barcelona. So I think they have made brilliant signings. They have made brilliant signings. And at this point of time, I was hoping that they don't qualify for Champions League. I will keep on hoping that. But the way La Liga is, eventually they will get in and they will get the top four easily. So Ayush is saying, I think we will get Villarreal in quarter. Anything will do. Anything will do, Ayush. We should avoid the top guns as much as we can. One of Real Madrid and PSG definitely going out. And obviously, as I said, we need to make sure that we get that, we get our win first. We get our win first. So that's the thing at this point of time. We have to go from scratch. And before that, we also have to look at how we go against Man City in 5 days' time. So, guys, with this, I will end this stream. And I really, really appreciate whoever joined today. And if you have United fans as friends, make sure you share the channel with them. And hopefully, we see more of each other. Obviously, I want all of your support to make this channel grow, to make this channel reach a level, where it's also counted as one of the best channels for United and other, in terms of news and everything. So hopefully the channel grows with your help and support. And Louis asking, are you worried about Liverpool going for the quadruple? They are not going to the quadruple. They are not going to win. Obviously, they will be in the race. Obviously, they are in the 4 competitions, but for me, they are not going to win it. They won't even, I don't see them winning the Champions League, to be very honest. Premier League will be, going to the wire, last 1 or 2 games. So I don't see them winning the quadruple. If that happens, I don't know where I'm going to hide, to be honest. Thanks a lot, Mike, for joining. It's always great to interact with all of you, to be very honest. Praful wise, he should learn from the best. What's your opinion on our right wing situation? Rashford can play. Ahmad is still developing. Bought Sancho. See, Satyavil, the thing is, Sancho is one player who can play on both the wings. He played entire season in the Bundesliga, and then he was shifted to right with Dortmund. So I think, what we are trying to do is make sure that, he can contribute on both wings now that we are a bit short. In the upcoming window, I don't see us going for a right wing. We might try Hannibal over there, or Ahmad is there, even Pelestri might come back from loan. So we will have options, not, you know, talented or, not, sorry, established. Obviously, they are talented, not established options, but we will have options. So we will have to see. It's a very, very delicate scenario at this point of time. An injury to Sancho, and we might have our entire right wing exposed. But I don't see us spending a lot of money. There is a catch over here, is that Rafinha might be available for 15 or 20 million if Leeds go down. So I am literally praying, I'm literally hoping that Leeds go down. If that happens, we might go for Rafinha as our backup. He's a wonderful player, he's proving himself. And if we can get Rafinha for 15 to 20 million, that would be absolutely massive. That's my opinion. Shane says Ronaldo changes hairstyle to noodle one. Anything will do. Any superstition will work. Shane, all we want is him to score goals. Ayush is saying, I am predicting at least the same is. Hopefully, Ayush. Hopefully, we reach over there, but it's going to be very, very difficult. Mike, I don't want to jinx it. That's why I said, I always say if when I'm not sure, or I don't want to jinx something. So hopefully they go down. Hopefully they go down. And I think once they go down, Phillips as well as Rafinha, even Melier, these 2, 3 guys will be definitely on the radar for some of the Premier League teams. Rafinha especially, he was also linked with Bayern Munich, but that was absolutely bogus. Let's see how that goes. Praful says CDM striker CB would be perfect, but we all know how our board works, Praful bhai. So there is nothing called perfect when it comes to United. And obviously, we need to make sales. We still have to get rid of certain players which we don't want with the squad. And Mike says, "Rest in peace, Bielsa ball." He was stubborn. He was stubborn. He didn't have the team to carry out the play which he wanted to do. To be very honest, Leeds have a lot of mediocre players. They had a system once. Bamford went out, Phillips went out. They had absolutely no clue. I would love to see Ajax. Regardless of how much wonderful their campaign is, I would, have Ajax over Chelsea. Ajax, they lack experience on a bigger stage. And when we look at our squad against their squad, I think I am, going to bet on United to take that win, to be honest. All right, guys. So as I said, with this, I will end the stream. We will see each other most probably tomorrow, or if any news comes in, I will try to get in live. And stay safe. Spend time with your family. If you can share the link with your friends, that would be absolutely amazing. They can keep on, after the stream goes off, they can come up here, they can give it a watch. So take care till then. Hopefully, we will see each other very, very soon. So good night and stay safe.